No news today, boys and girls. Yes, I know, very scary, but what's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, I wanted to talk about Fortnite Save the World, aka the mode you're currently watching me play right now. Now, the specific game mode we're playing is Save the World Dungeons, and as I've actually gone back and started playing Save the World again, I gotta be completely honest, a lot of people had my mind thinking that Save the World was in a very terrible spot, right? You know, it was a very bad mode, and you couldn't find any enjoyment from it, and I understand maybe that's more in the late game area, which, you know, I have done all the Twine endurances, Stonewood, Plankerton, Canny Valley. I've done basically all the endurances in the game right now. While I could see that maybe for the later on content, as someone who has been known to literally go through and like play Call of Duty Zombies solo doing glitch spots and all that stuff before, I am enjoying this mode, right? I'm enjoying Save the World again, and it wasn't as bad as, you know, everyone on Twitter had made it out to be, and that's why, you know what, I just want to make a whole entire YouTube video dedicated to me basically saying, hey, Save the World, I underestimated you. Now, for some context of the last time I actually played Save the World, I think the best way to really describe this to you guys is this right here. You see how we're walking around, we're doing everything like normal? Well, the last time I played Save the World was before you could do this. Before you could crouch, before you could tactical sprint, before you could mantle. You can find something over here to mantle onto. Anything? Oh, right here, there we go. Yeah, before you could mantle, before you could do any of that, and it was back when the game had two things: walking and sprinting. That was the only thing going for Save the World at the time, and man, does it make me just intrigued to see how much the game's really, I guess in a way, changed, despite it being considered a quote-unquote dead mode, not receiving updates or anything like that a few seasons ago. And it's at the point now where even on my Fortnite Twitter account, I'm going to start trying to keep up to date with the Save the World news, and tweet about those changes for the people that might be following that account that, you know, like Save the World, because I didn't realize that even though, you know, the quest lines are repetitive, you know, they just bring back old quest lines and not really making new ones, they are still working on some stuff, and it seems like every few seasons at least, they have a major update for the mode, you know, whether it be dungeons, whether it be ventures, whether it be something like that. It's like the major updates are very small in comparison to what Battle Royale gets, and they happen a lot less frequently, but at the same time, the updates are still more enjoyable in a way because they have, you know, more care technically put into it, because, you know, I assume it's like a skeleton team or something working on Save the World at this point, and it just feels like, you know, they are still updating this. And it's kind of like, you know, the feeling I get from this mode recently, or I guess Save the World, is kind of the indie team aesthetic, you know, because it's like, of course, Epic Games is a big team. Fortnite is a big game. But when it comes to specifically Save the World, it feels like, you know, it's an indie dev team who only has so many employees working on it that is able to get updates out every once in a while. And maybe that's a bad look for the company or whatever when it comes to this mode, but at the same time, I'm enjoying how it still does get updates, and it still gets really cool stuff that you can't find in like creative mode, battle royale, or anything like that. So it makes me, you know, happy. It makes me happy just to see that people on Epic Games' teams are still working on stuff, and, you know, they are able to make like a crouching system, sprinting system from Battle Royale work in this mode, right? It just pleases me, I guess is the best way to really describe how I feel about all of this. At the same time, though, you know, I wonder what Epic Games has left planned for Save the World, because if you guys remember, a year ago when they made their blog post being like, hey, updates are basically going to slow down, here's Ventures, they mentioned that they're at one point going to make it so Battle Royale cosmetics couldn't be used in Save the World after a certain point. Kind of like, you know, the old ones can, but the new ones are kind of just like vetoed. They're no longer able to be used in this mode. And we haven't seen that at all, right? It's kind of like Epic Games kind of went back on some of their promises of stuff they were going to can in Save the World, and they kind of decided to keep it in and continue making Save the World better while, you know, just having very few updates, you know, very slow amounts of updates and stuff like that. And it makes me happy, right? Because if anyone who doesn't know, I don't know if I mentioned this before, I've recorded this video like 4 times now and had scuffed up moments or whatever, but for anyone who doesn't know, I am a big avid Call of Duty Zombies player, and one thing about zombies that, you know, some people might find boring is the fact that, you know, people like me would literally do glitch spots. They would do glitch spots, hide in areas where zombies couldn't kill you. You just sit there non-stop eliminating zombies for hours on end. And despite that sounding very boring, right, now that I've described it out loud, it's like, wow, really, that's what you wasted your time with? Believe it or not, it was fun for me. I enjoyed it. So as someone who has that backstory, you know, playing a lot of, I guess, slower paced matches, or, you know, solo matches, boringer matches, whatever you want to call it, I have been really enjoying Save the World. And I obviously know that, you know, probably in the late game or once you get like super further on, and by that I don't mean like, you know, doing all the endurances or stuff like I have, but I mean more in the area of like, oh hey, I've done all the quests, I've done all the late game stuff and stuff like that, it feels like there isn't anything to do. But knowing that by playing Save the World, I'm able to have, you know, these unique experiences, get some exclusive rewards that are specifically in Save the World. Oh, we got teleported. But I'm able to get all these, like, unique rewards and stuff like that. It makes me feel a lot better about the mode, because it's not just like something that, you know, I'm playing it and it's just kind of pointless. I'm gaining Battle Royale XP, I'm still progressing the Battle Pass and everything else. It's just that, you know, it's in a more outdated thing in a way, where there is an XP cap per day, and of course, you know, if you grind it too much, you're going to end up hitting a point where it's like, well, there isn't really that much to do. But there are some challenges that make you really think, huh, will I be able to grind this too much? Because, you know, there's some boringer ones that you're like, you still have something to do with, because there's stuff like, oh hey, here's your daily dungeon challenges or something like that. But on top of that, the real ones I want to think about are the ones that are like, oh, we want you to play with other random players in their missions and do that 10,000 times. Complete 10,000 play with random missions. It's like, yeah, that is obviously going to take a while. I mean, that's 10,000 people you're asking me to play randomly with. So this is going to take me a little bit of time, but at the same time, it at least gives you something to work on, especially if you're like a dedicated Save the World player and you just need something to get you into playing the mode. Now, the reason I took a break a long time ago, right, from Save the World, was mainly because of Twitter, believe it or not. It was mainly because of everyone on Twitter kind of, you know, talking about how terrible this mode was, just kind of mentioning how, you know, they didn't put love into it or whatever, yada, 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 and sure, there's less love into it now, but going back into it, like, after so long, it's like, you know, maybe people on Twitter overreacted. I know that's a scary thing to say, you know, people on Twitter overreacting? That would never happen. But, you know, maybe some people on Twitter didn't have the best judgment and they were just kind of tired of playing this mode after having played it 24/7 or something along those lines. Because I'm having a fun time, right? I'm going to be seeing myself playing a lot more Save the World going forwards, and you'll probably see a lot more Save the World as background footage while I ramble on about stuff, because sure, you know, it's not Battle Royale, it's not exactly going to be what some leaked topics are about, but at the same time, you're still able to get something, right? You're still able to see a game that you recognize while I talk about Fortnite. You know, you're still seeing the Fortnite characters, you're seeing, you know, the skin right here, the pickaxes, Kevin the Cube, all that type of stuff, even though it's not the familiar experience that you guys are, you know, used to. Because, I mean, in the past recently, you've seen me play, like, those, like, backroom creative maps and stuff while just recording a video, and it seems like those videos still did well, so, you know, assuming as long as I'm able to still make Fortnite content using something like a different mode in the game, I'm assuming you guys are chill with it as well. But, of course, let me know in the comments down below. But, yeah, in reality, this video was just me saying, hey, I underestimated Save the World. I thought this mode was like in a very terrible spot, but going back into it, I can tell that sure, you know, maybe there's some issues with the mode. You know, maybe there's some stuff that's kind of outdated compared to normal Fortnite, but they are still working on it, and who knows, maybe we'll get a UI update very soon. I know there's some leaks or something I saw someone on Twitter post regarding like a massive Save the World UI update coming soon, so I plan to kind of like go through the files, find out more information on that, and maybe make another Save the World video for you guys, talking about some saucy leaks in that realm, so that you can be up to date with, you know, the small content update Epic Games has planned to happen very soon. But yeah, I just really wanted to make a YouTube video kind of just rambling on to being like, hey, Save the World, you're not that bad. You know what? I give you a pat on the back. You're not that bad, son. And, you know, I would love to hear in the comments down below, what do you guys think about Save the World? How far are you into Save the World? You know, are your opinions any different than mine? Of course, you know, different opinions are allowed, believe it or not. We're not going to be like, how dare you have a different opinion? But yeah, I'm curious what everyone thinks, because going back into Save the World after having not played it for a super long time, I'm having a fun time. You know, I'm just vibing, I'm enjoying everything going down, and I'm hoping that I'm able to continue having a fun time, you know, messing around, enjoying the different dungeons and stuff that are in the game, and it makes me wonder what the next content's going to be after Dungeons End. And you know what, actually, while recording this, something just like clicked in my mind. You know what I realized? Yeah, sure, you know, you have like these challenges and stuff that go away after a while, but if you ever want something new to grind, there's ventures, where you basically start with like a separate inventory in a way, and that's not that bad of a mode. I'm just saying, you know, some people hate ventures. They're like, oh, yucky ventures. But now that I really think about it, maybe Ventures isn't that bad of a play, you know? It's like, obviously it's a different experience. You're going to be restarting over. You won't have your Nocturnos or whatever you have in your account. Believe it or not, I'm an ultimate founder of the game. I just wanted to point that out there. You know, I spent a lot of money on this game, and I bought the Ultimate Founders Pack, like, at the last time before I was about to leave. But it's like, you know, it might be a different experience. You're not going to start off OP, but you are still able to find some replayability through the game as long as you're fine doing the same few missions over and over. I just consider them to be like themes, you know, themes of the content you're experiencing. And if you want to do some fast-paced ones, you can do some faster themed themes. That's a terrible word to describe it. But yeah, you know what, I think we're going on way too long trying to figure out a word to describe what a theme is or whatever. Main point is, I underestimated you, Save the World. You're actually not a bad mode. Thumbs up. I hope you champs and champets maybe end up playing Save the World again recently. If you're on a Switch or mobile, I understand that you can't. But yeah, you know, if you have the Fortnite crew, you most likely have Save the World, so might as well enjoy it in the future if you ever get the chance to play this mode, you know? Don't think that just Battle Royale exists, because believe it or not, Save the World can be pretty fun as well. Anyways, with that said, I'll see you champs and champets a little bit later with another YouTube video, and peace out.